He said, Oga, people are saying that armed robbers. So. Then I said, then turn the car, reverse. As he put it on reverse, a gun was on my head. Automatic weapon. They said, don't move. If you move an inch, we blast you. I told Chinedu, don't move. They dragged me out of the car. Dragged Chinedu out of the car. Shot the tire of the vehicle. Put Chinedu in the boot of the car. And put me inside the car. Then met another driver inside. They said if we dare look up, they will kill us. We close our eyes. And we were pressed to the ground inside the car. As we were pressed down, I heard them say, oh, police, 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 police. Then one of them said, no retreat, no surrender, let's meet them. Because I couldn't look up, apparently, they moved out of the car. And I could hear guns booming. It was a staccato of bullets raining. Here comes Armageddon. It was a war situation. And they were firing. And as they were firing, the car was moving. They were telling them advance, advance a little. Then I heard them shout again, another vehicle, shoot. Then they started another round of. And then I heard them say, oh, we killed some of them. We killed some of them. Then tomorrow now, they will come out and lie and say some of us were killed or injured, even though none of us have been injured. I heard them saying that. The bad news, that I was not profiled. We were never profiled or targeted. Meaning that they merely operated randomly. It is bad news because it could have been any person, any other person. Bad news because it was when we were in the car with eyes closed that they started preliminary questions. What is your name? I said, Chief Mike Ozekhome, SAM. They set my pocket, took out the complimentary cards and other possession. I heard the card, I said, what is your full name? I said, my full name is Chief Mike Ozekhome, SAM. Constitutional lawyer, human rights activist, Akpakpa Bigibiadola. They said yes. They said yes, you are a man of truth. That's what is written on your card. I didn't even know they were holding my card. They said, so you are a lawyer? I said, yes, sir. How long have you practiced? I said, 32 years. I said, well, even if you tell us lies, by tomorrow we know who you are. Do you know what? We always know who you are when we capture, when we kidnap people through the press. So even if you lie, we are going to know who you are tomorrow. That is how we were driven for about 4.5 hours. Through rough roads, through highways, you could feel it on the body that you are on a highway. You could feel it on the body that you are on a rocky path. You could feel it on the body that you are in a swamp. You could feel it on the body that you are inside the forest, that you are on a footpath that is not tarred. About 4.5 hours. Before they dumped us in a small, uncompleted building, far away from civilization. Far away. And it was 24 hours guard. Fellow Nigerians. We are not talking of toy carrying kidnappers. They told me that they have cell units across Nigeria. They reminded me, didn't you see that a footballer's father was captured in Jos and taken to Kano? Didn't you hear of the white people, white men who were killed in Birnin-Kebbi and Bauchi and Kano? Didn't you hear of the deputy governor of Anambra State that was executed? They started mentioning them. That they are everywhere. So I asked them, how did you know me then? Why did you come for me? They said, we didn't know you. We just operated. And you happen to have run into us. And that when they started reading of me, they said, we believe that God allowed us to catch you for a purpose. To draw attention to the world, to draw national and international attention to this issue of kidnapping. They were even advising me that I should not blame God, I should glorify God. That the things they have been reading of me, about me, shows that attention is being drawn to this issue of kidnapping. Then, of course, all of them are always hooded and masked, so you cannot know or recognize anybody. Because even though they are hooded and masked, even when they are talking to you, whether in the afternoon or in the night, you must still close your eyes. If you don't close your eyes, you'll be in trouble. The death sentence was always hanging on us 24 hours a day.
Wow. After hearing his emotional and shocking experience with the kidnappers, you will further be shocked upon hearing that the man that masterminded kidnapped them has now been set free from prison. He was one of the surprise beneficiaries of President Ahmed Bola Tinubu's presidential pardon sometime in October 2025. You will want to ask if the presidential pardon does not have sympathy or consider the victims and their families, even though we know that the presidential pardon is the president's constitutional right. Now, the man that you just heard his story, how would him and his family going to feel upon hearing that the man that made him go through those pains has now regained his freedom and is now walking the street freely? I bet you it will never go down well with him and his family, but especially there won't be any form of compensation for him. His name is Mike Ozekhome. He's a popular lawyer, a human rights activist, and he's from Edo State, that's southern part of Nigeria. He was kidnapped on the 25th of September 2013. During that operation, 4 policemen were killed and a ransom of 40 million naira was later paid to secure his release. While this other man you are seeing on your screen right now is the man behind the kidnap. His name is Mr. Kevin Ibruwe Onara. He's a 44-year-old man from Kokore community in Etiop local government area of Delta State. That's the same southern part of Nigeria. After the incident, he was later arrested and then sentenced to 20 years imprisonment. But now, he's a free man. And one other thing I don't understand about this man is that the way the community sees him. When they got the news that he has been pardoned, they all celebrated and jubilated. Please take a look at the video. In that video, you could see how they celebrated and jubilated upon hearing that he has been pardoned. The community is seeing him differently from what the government said he was. They actually see him as their living hero. According to some reports, they said he was once their youth leader and also leader of liberation movement of Urhobo people in Delta State. And they also see him as their environmental activist because he has sometimes dragged the government to implement policies that would benefit his community. So with all of this, you will see that the government saw him as a criminal, while his people saw him as their hope. So guys, do share your comment in the comment section and don't forget to like and share. See you next time.